Odysseyers, good morning. Mike Martins here with the Mike Martins channel. Thanks for joining me and being part of the channel. Guys, we are working on Mike and the Knights last night. Man, we're working on getting it up on working to get it up right now on Odyssey. I'm trying my best. Success. It's up, guys. Success. So it's up now. Last night, I unfortunately I just couldn't get the video up for some reason. I've received like 90 emails, 50 Instagram messages, 50 Facebook messages, so it's up right now. So if you're watching this video, you know it's up. So it's now, what is it doing? It's confirming it, I guess. But there it is there. It looks like it's a success. So when's enough going to be enough? People will... Vaccines not enough to stop the fourth wave of COVID-19 in Canada, experts warn. Okay, this is a very important way they break this down, so we gotta kind of cipher or filter the language to figure it out. So do you guys remember, so we gotta actually write this stuff down because it's important for future generations. But do you guys remember when there was a flu shot available for those people that were, I guess, vulnerable and stuff? Remember the flu shot? They've been given out for the last 30, maybe 40 years. Oh, flu season's here. Don't forget to get your flu shots. You can get one at this, or you get one there, or you get one there. Stop, the spread of whatever, right? Now instead of calling it a new flu that's coming around, or a new variant, or a new whatever, they're calling it waves now. Now we're in a fourth wave, right? So look at the language here. Vaccines not enough to stop the fourth wave of COVID-19 in Canada, experts warn. So who are these experts? Well, let's take a look at this because we got to define the language here. Toronto, Canadians need to use all public health tools available, including masking. We know masking doesn't work, and now I think they're scrapping it in some parts of the U.S. haven't worn masks now in a year. Physical distance and testing to avoid lockdowns to protect the unvaccinated as a fourth wave of COVID-19 grips the country, infectious disease experts say. With more than 10 million Canadians unvaccinated against COVID-19, the chances of more widespread lockdowns are possible. So again, they're referring it back to, we're going to have more lockdowns if we don't have people that are vaccinated. So more people get vaccinated, the less lockdowns there will be, as possible as some provinces. Hospital systems remain strained from earlier waves of pandemic. So let's go back to basics here. All our borders are closed. Traveling is almost next to impossible. They're fining people now. They're fining you if you took the wrong second or the first vaccine, or you took the wrong COVID test. They're fining you. A lady was fined $5,200. It's in this news reel here with these on CTV. So this is important because they are misconstruing what they want to say, but they come back and bite themselves in the butt, if that makes any sense. So now let's look again at, what about the migrant trains that are coming from Central and South America? Oh no, that hasn't stopped. That's actually intensified. My friend down at the border, at the southern Mexican border, that borders Central America, told me that they've even put up 4 more fences on the southern Mexican border, and more people are coming through, and they have to go to the United States. They can't stop in Mexico. You just can't immigrate to Mexico. Mexico's not one of those countries where if you live in Brazil or in Argentina or Venezuela, you just can't immigrate to Mexico. Mexico won't allow it. Right? I tried to buy property there a few times, and they laughed at me. They're like, you're a foreigner. We can't sell you property. So, so the reason why I bring up the migrant trains, but what about the variants and all this stuff that's happening? You have one guy in New Zealand go to a nightclub and from a different part of New Zealand, and then they have to shut down the whole country because he coughed. Now, that doesn't make any sense when you see 8,000 to 12,000 people crossing the U.S. border every week illegally, and some of them are getting caught and being relocated in different parts of America. Are they being tested for COVID? None of them are. It's in articles. We already read them. So the mainstream media is kind of letting the cat out of the bag, so to say. So what this says here. So more than 10 million Canadians are unvaccinated. So they're blaming, obviously, the unvaccinated. And we said this a year ago. We can't ignore that there are literally millions of people in Ontario and in Canada that are unvaccinated, the doctor says. And an infectious disease specialist, member of Ontario's, of course, task force, of course. These are all bought and paid for people. Even if all eligible Canadians got their shots, there would still be nearly 5 million Canadians who are not eligible to be vaccinated, who would be at the highest risk, especially as more transmissible Delta variants take hold. So it's not that we've debunked the Delta variants. There's just no way to test for a Delta variant. There's no test in existence as of today. So I'm not sure what they're trying to do if they can't secure a specimen to test. So they can't even secure it. So again, this is all propagandized. We'll do okay if we can limit the pace of community transmission. So what happened to the flu? That's what I'm afraid of. It's like the flu is gone forever. But that's tough to do, he said. If we have a lot of people get infected in a short period of time. So now they're telling us that vaccines are not enough to stop the fourth wave. So they're telling us here, not everyone's vaccinated. We need more people vaccinated. Then it goes in to tell you here that it's not enough, but we need to keep people apart. That could happen with the Delta variant. We will put pressure on our healthcare system. We will stretch out our healthcare system. There are literally millions of people that can be infected. But what happened to the flu? What happened to people? Emergency rooms filled up with people with coughing and vomiting and diarrhea, stomach flu going around this year. Oh, it's more of a diarrhea, nauseous type flu. Oh, this flu is weakening me and weakening my immune system. It doesn't make any sense. This does not make any sense. It's just going around in circles. Now, watch this. Watch what they say here. Preventing our hospitals from getting overwhelmed. I drove by the hospital the other day. It was dead bone dry. Not a single soul in there. Unfortunately, when we compare Canada to other comparable countries, our ICU capacity per capita is not very robust. This is what resulted in lockdowns during the third wave. Again, I don't know. They have been picking on Texas the hardest because they don't have masks. There's no mandates from vaccines. Same thing with Florida. They've been picking on those states the hardest. The mainstream media went out there to make a fool of themselves, to tell people, hey, by the way, these hospitals at Broward County and in Pompano and all these places in Florida are overflowing. So people, nurses, and off-duty nurses and people in different parts of the state, well, that's an hour for me. I'm going to go check it out. Get down there, look around, there's nothing happening. Ask the ambulance drivers, and the ambulance drivers laugh and say, don't believe what the media tells you. That's what they did. That's what they said. So obviously they're trying to promote, or they're trying to massage people into pre-readiness control. They're trying to massage people to divide their families and their homes. They're trying to get people to stand up for themselves. My body, my choice, but it only is if you want to cut your ding-a-ling off, and if you want to maybe amputate a limb, or if you want to change sexes, or whatever you want to do, or an abortion, that's my body, my choice. Now, that's the thing. Now, let's go back here and see. So, it goes into saying, similar to Ontario, Alberta, approximately 1.5 million unvaccinated people in the province. So while vaccinated people have a lower risk of severe illness, hospitalization, and death, there are still many Canadians who don't have the protection, which could send the fourth wave off the rails. So what's the fourth wave? Is it just the new strain of the flu that we get every year? That sometimes it gets worse and gets bad? But the Delta variant apparently is a lot weaker than the first one. There's a joke that's going around. Hey, go around and tell people this joke, okay? Hey, have you heard the Delta variant joke? No, I haven't. What is it? Don't worry, you won't get it. That's a joke. Yeah. So, it goes on to say, we have millions of Albertans who are not vaccinated, and if we think the total number of people that have been infected as well under 1 million, we still have more people who are so they're going into vaccinations and telling how important it is, but then they're telling us that vaccines are not enough to stop the fourth wave. They go into division, they go into more lockdowns, full-scale lockdowns, and they're going back into getting vaccinated again. Then they go into hospital occupancies. So there's too many, and then they want children vaccinated, and how to control the fourth wave. Let's see this. With so many Canadians vaccinated, getting control of the fourth wave can likely happen without the use of widespread lockdowns. Instead, regions can opt for more simplified public health measures that can be put in place relatively easy. So they want to do the QR coding here. So you guys remember a year ago we had some people on from Australia? I have always people from Australia on Mike in the Night. Well, that's what happened. They basically had this QR code thing where they know where you are, they know where you're scanning, they check in IDs, and you're not allowed to talk to your customers. You're not allowed to do anything. It's become a gong show in Australia. It's become, again, a prison. And we had this big poll on the channel. I'm going to make a compilation of all this crap that we've been saying on the channel from a year and a half ago, and actually build a nice little compilation of little clippets of different parts of what we said. So, because people keep saying that I'm stealing from other channels, I swear to you, I don't even go on YouTube anymore. I don't even go on YouTube. I go on YouTube to put a video to tell you to come here to Odyssey, okay? And Odyssey is now starting to grow, right? So I'm not going to steal stuff from other. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? It's getting the message out there. I get the message. I get, like, my little peanut of a brain picks up on things, and I start talking. You know what I'm saying? And here it goes. Even without those mandates in place, individuals can take it upon themselves to wear a mask and distance from others. And we know that doesn't work, especially when it comes to... Anyways, let me show you... Oh, God, I can't stop yawning. I hope my yawning's not contagious to you guys. Here it is. So let me find that, so you guys know I'm not making this crap up. There's one right here. What do we know about breakthrough COVID-19 cases? Experts break down the science. So breakthrough is when you're fully vaccinated and you still die. Where'd it go? Right here. Canadian travelers fined $5,700 each for getting the wrong COVID-19 test before returning from the U.S. So they really, it's not that America doesn't want Canadians. It's Canadians don't want Canadians. Canadian leadership doesn't want Canadians to go to America. That's the problem. Because once people start venturing into the South, oh my God, I could buy this 50 acres with this house here for $70,000. And it's got a well, and already has a little building on the site. Wow. All I have to make is $150 a week, and I can afford to live. People start noticing those things, right? And that's why a lot of my videos were taken down. So, yeah. Oh, what does this say here? Oh, no medical or religious exemptions for BC's vaccine passport system. What? No medical, religious... Oh, they're cracking down hard. Folks, read through the language. A lot of it is symbolic, and a lot of it is... If you read between the lines, you can see the bullshit just layered. You see the shit layered in? The shit's the mortar, right? So what they're doing is they're mortaring these words into piles of shit, so it sticks. It ain't sticking much longer. I don't know what to say. Guys, check this out. Link to last night's Mike of the Nights that didn't upload last night. Check it out in the comments below. Thanks for watching.